Alright, YouTube, so this is the last depression video I'll be covering for a minute, but for just a little bit, this one's kind of two videos together. The first one being, I was gonna go over all the types of depression, but here's an interesting little tidbit, and everyone wants to talk about the Earth is overcrowded conspiracy. I want to talk about this one. I don't believe the Earth is overcrowded. I think we're a long way from that, and we could be standing 1 foot by 1 foot near to each other, and that would be overcrowding. But that's just scientific and mathematic. I wouldn't want to get into that with too many people. The signs are all the same. It's going to be things like loss of appetite, irritability, tired all the time, sluggish. A loss of weight, a gain of weight, loss of sleep, gaining extra sleep. The signs of depression are nearly infinite. The problem with making a video about the types of depression is there's a lot of types of depression. It's a pretty hard topic to address all of. I think what we also need to consider is that as a society, we've never really focused and put emphasis on the signs and, hey, our friend's been sleeping an extra 5 hours every day or an extra 5 hours less every night. Is there something wrong going on with them? Hey, you okay, bud? We need to focus more on that aspect of depression to treat it as a society. If you, the individual, are experiencing suicidal thoughts, which is another symptom of depression, contact help. The 1-800 National Talk line does exist. I will be putting another link with that phone number in the video description, but really, call them. Don't take your own life and hurt more people and possibly make the people you care about take theirs. There are some 7-8 billion people in this world, and if you don't think you matter to one of them, you're probably lying to yourself. And another thing is that, again, it's hard to cover all the types of depression. It's not hard to cover all the signs. All the signs are the same. I think that's more of a conspiracy than there's too many people on planet Earth and we need to not have kids because of global warming. That strings too many things together. This one's forward and it's consistent. Why are we more concerned about making sure everybody feels special and can get their fucking type of depression addressed as far as by name, instead of getting it addressed by a therapist, by a psychologist, someone who can help them? Have we drifted that far apart as a society that it's more about addressing people's bipolar depression, manic depression? Let's just address the part that matters, is the depression. So the part that's not changing between any of the symptoms is the depression. And another thing is, again, these symptoms aren't changing. It's all the same symptoms. I think manic depression might be the most different, as you may be acting fine and then be having bouts of depression. Agitation, mood swings, irritability, loss of sleep, loss of weight, these are all signs. Drug use, substance abuse, hopelessness. These are all just signs and symptoms. Look out for them, really. If you know anyone experiencing one or more of these signs or symptoms, try to get them help by talking to them first. That's the first thing, is get someone to admit they have a problem they can seek help out on their own. If they don't have a problem in their mind, they can't even take help. So you can only help someone who wants it. That's where 10% of the world's suicides don't come from mental health, is there's a 10% of those people don't want that help. The other 90% are in need of that help because of mental disorders and mental disabilities. They just need the help. That's really what it is. And again, it's so much harder to talk about every single form of depression. But again, when I was writing down the forms of depression, I was taking notes on it before I recorded this, I noticed they're all the same. They are all the same. A loss of interest in their life, in their hobbies, in their activities, their family. They could gain weight, they're sluggish, they're irritated, tired, lacking energy, feeling worthless or guilty all the time, having problems with decision making. appetite loss, and again we just start to repeat, and then until we hit confidence, hopeless. I mean, these are all just, a person is visibly upset when they're depressed, and if you don't notice, that's really on you. That is really what that comes down to, is it's really on you. Or if you ignored that they were depressed and noticed they were depressed, that's on you. You should have helped. You should have said something. You should have spoken out and been their voice and been, hey, let's take you somewhere. Let's check you in somewhere. Let's get you some help. The thing is people ignore those signs instead of doing the right thing, and then when the person's dead, we act virtuous and go, oh, but I didn't know. Nigga, that's not virtue, for one. Two, it's not okay. You knew, you just didn't do anything. And that's the difference. It's hard to make a fucking problem to somebody who doesn't have a problem. It's hard to get somebody to understand they got a problem if they don't think in their mind that they have a problem. That is actually extremely hard to get someone to understand. But I mean, I've gone through my own bouts of depression. It's held me back at times, but never stopped me completely. And that's the key. Like, that's how it has to be. It can hold you back, it can hit you, it can hurt, but it can never stop you. As long as you don't let it, you gotta take control of that, and you gotta not let it stop you. So this video goes out to the friends of the depressed, the friends of the suicidal, and the suicidal themselves. Somebody's gotta take control, and somebody's gotta take action. If you notice that person cannot take control and cannot take action, get them the help they need. They might thank you for it when they're alive 10 years from then. It might take 10 years for them to give you a thank you. They might hate you until they have a family, until they have something that they don't want to lose to death. But again, get help. There's the National Talk line, there's the text crisis line. I mean, there are so many lines for suicide prevention that it is insane. And I'm gonna get as many numbers as I can up on this video, to phone numbers for this exact thing. Probably leave a little description of what each one does, and then that's it. But I mean, I'm telling you, I was in a situation myself when my baby was being born where I called them. Shoot, I talked to a whole person, and I felt better about it because I knew I wasn't the only one going through what I was going through in that instance, and that made a person feel better. That made me feel better. That makes anyone feel better to know they're not going through it alone. But other than that, you guys take it easy. Try to have the best holidays you can. And other than that, if you see someone who is depressed, get them help. I mean, we're going to leave the links here in this video, and it's going to be on. Like, if you need the help, get it. Take it. Nothing's given. Everything's taken in this life. So, other than that, y'all have a good one. And, shoot, tell me about a time depression hit you hard. Put it in the comments. Other than that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day and a great December, y'all.